So obviously every project needs to start with whiskey, or at least whiskey in your coffee when you're starting in the morning, I guess. So here I'm starting to do things in layers. So you have to think, what do you want on the front? What do you want on the back? How's it all going to lay out before, when you stitch it all together, how are you going to be able to do it? So obviously once I put the two pieces together, I'm not going to be able to get all that stuff and still have room to put plates in and such. So you start laying out your strapping. What I started doing at the beginning, as you see here, is I ran a stitch and then I back stitched it. But then I found I was having a problem, probably with the needle I was using at the time. This was before I went to denim, that I was getting knots when I back stitched, and it was becoming harder to do. So by the time I got to the molly on the front, I decided instead of back stitching, I would go all the way down, turn it around, and then come back, essentially double stitching. And I double stitched everything from this point out. Now when I got started right here, the first few rows of stitching, I didn't actually do that. I was going one at a time, and eventually I just said, that's not, it's fine, you can do it that way, it probably looks a little bit cleaner. But at this point, I just started stitching all the way down. Doesn't hurt anything. Now you also see me taking a lighter after I pull the piece out every time, and I'm burning off the ends of the thread. This is important because this helps close it up and keeps it from unraveling. So when you're sewing and you want to be using double bonded nylon, because it doesn't deteriorate in the sun like regular thread would do, and it's stronger, you want to make sure that you are burning the ends. Now, I went through all the video, and apparently I didn't video putting the two pieces together, the front of the front and the back of the front together. But basically it's the same thing that I'm doing in all of this. You put the two right side pieces together so the two wrong side pieces are showing up. You go around your corners. I did it twice, one run down, one run back, and then you flip it over. The very fun part is getting the shoulder straps out once you flip it over. I also didn't show putting the Velcro on the bottom for how the flap, that extra piece right there on the bottom that my hand is on, that actually folds back. It has Velcro underneath it to hold the plate in. But that's one way to do it. You could also do it reverse, where you fold the flap and tuck it in Velcro. There are a myriad of ways, however you decide to do it. That's how I did it. I'll try to I'll get another shot of the whole thing and show you once it's all done. There's also Velcro on the shoulder straps for adjustments. And I hated the cummerbund, and I am going to be replacing it, so I'm just not showing you anything with the cummerbund. Son of a bitch. Here I'm using some double-sided tape, and I'm using it because this Velcro piece isn't going the whole length and I need it to stay in place. The double-sided tape is great when you're hemming your edges. You can use that to hold them over when you're trying to put on something and it's difficult. It's great. Definitely get some double-sided clothing tape for helping you when you're putting on pieces like this. So you see I sew around all the corners of the Velcro on all the Velcro, but then in a minute here I'll start going up diagonally and make an X in the middle. What I'm doing is I'm trying to make sure that that Velcro stays, I mean it's not the entire surface, but you're getting, with all the edges and that X in the middle, you're making sure that that Velcro stays flat with the plate carrier and it's not loose in the middle. So when you go to hang stuff on there, it's not going to droop because the middle isn't secure. You see here, I'm going back up this corner again. That's okay. You know, if you hit them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, in my opinion, it just makes them stronger. It's not a bad thing when you're going back over. I ran out of the OD green, so I had to go with what I had left over. But (11 by 14) plates fits pretty snug. I'll redo it. I'll fix the molly. These two corners are probably pretty much useless, so I go to 6 instead of 8, but that's not bad. See, the back is all molly, so I can put on a bladder or whatever, or just carry a backpack. Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. There are a few things I would change, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I can run it slick like this and put on, you know, a kit over it, or I can put on a pouch here, put on a placard here. I can still run pouches on the side pockets if I need to. I am probably going to stitch along the bottom here, or at least in areas, a little looping, and make like a radio pocket, maybe a mag pocket here. I don't know. Still playing around with it. I'm making this video private so only you guys can see it. But that's the finished product. And even with the pistol and the belt, it's not going to get in the way. Level 4. As you can see, the double lines, you can see where I sewed on Velcro. But on the back, that extra piece I was talking about, That's the Velcro that holds the plates in. You could put the Velcro on the inside and on the outside of this, and then tuck this in Velcro. I've seen it done that way. Yeah, and I just double stitched on the inside before I flipped it over, the corners all the way around. Come up all the way up, come over. Well, so I went all the way up, back down. Then I went over, all the way around, all the way back down, down and up. And I did that for both sides. And there you go.